Hey everybody, hey, so today I want to talk about travel and how travel feeds my soul, but it doesn't have to be expensive. I'm 57, I'm on a budget, I'm not hopping planes to Europe, that ain't gonna happen for me. And so I'm gonna talk about the type of travel that still gets my juices flowing, but keeps me in check. The word travel is a big word, and the first thing people think of is, traveling across the states or going to, on an airplane or a train or whatever. But it can be very local, and it feeds your senses, even if it's just a new location, new smells, new sights, new things, new shops, new food, new people. It can be just not that far away at all. It's going to break your routine, the monotony, and it's going to fuel your curiosity. You know how like when you go into a new store for the first time, like a knick-knack store or something, and you find yourself just going through the aisles and bringing in all that new information and new things and getting more curious about what's around the corner. I went on a walk with Sadie, and we went to a new park that I had not walked her at before, and a new trail. And I didn't know where it ended, and I didn't want to go too far because she has leg issues. So, half-hour walk, that's a big walk for her nowadays. We used to go for hours, but now if I do a half hour, I have to wait for her to rejuvenate to get her back in the car. So we started down this trail, and it's fall out. Oh my God, it was beautiful. The foliage, I love. So speaking of travel, on a whole nother note, a few years ago, fall of 22, I believe, my best friend and I hopped on a plane. This was when I had money. Flew to Boston, got off, rented a car, and drove up the coast to Maine just to see the foliage. And we stayed in a castle, and it was awesome. I would love to do that again someday. We had planned on seeing like the witch trials museum and all that kind of stuff, but it was right after pandemic and we had to have reservations. Anyway, we didn't do that. But anyway, that was fun. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the fall foliage on the trail. It was amazing. And every corner we went around, how far is this trail going to go? Where's it going? And the squirrels, and her nose was just going 100 miles an hour because, a dog lives through their schnoz. So she was just snoozing and sniffing through the trail and having such a good time. And that made me happy to see her happy because I know her days were numbered. And it was a great walk. And that's all the travel we needed today, just to get out of our normal walking the path out here. And we hopped in the car and just went 15 minutes away and found a new trail. And I feel like when we open ourselves up to explore a little bit, it just reminds us we have so much life to live. I know when I suffered with depression about a year and a half ago, there's nothing left. I've done everything I want to do. I don't want to do anymore. I'm just done living. This is it. I'm done. Bullshit. There's so much more to do. And I've talked in other videos how I've lived in the same town for 25, 30 years, and I haven't even began to explore because I've been so busy working and doing other things, and I'm taking time to do that now. There's just so much to see and do. And that trail on that walk is just proof that, it was just so fun to do something different, to go someplace new, and to watch how excited my dog was to do it with me. Traveling gives us stories, and stories keep us young. And I love to tell stories. And I have got some stories about back in the day when money wasn't much of an object of some of the traveling I did and places I went and experiences I had. And I'll make videos about all of those, so keep watching. But oh my goodness, that's my whole life is stories of places I've been and things I've done and people I've met. And I don't even know where to begin. I don't want to get off on that today though. Like I said, you don't need a plane ticket. Sometimes just a tank of gas, or maybe just blow up those tire tubes on the bicycle. Whatever floats your boat. Maybe you just need a kayak. I have one of those in my daughter's storage unit. I'm gonna have to drag that out too. Take a day trip to a nearby town. Now, I've mentioned before where I live here in the Northwest. I'm literally 2 hours from the ocean, 2 hours from Mount Rainier. So, tank of gas and a packed lunch, I'm set. Although I will say, I filled up my gas tank yesterday, and at the time of this filming, we're towards the end of October, it was $70. Whew, that's a lot of money for gas. But if I stay around town, with just work, that'll last me a month, but a day trip will take it. So I have to plan that accordingly. And it's about the adventure, not the distance that you go. Adventure can be just around the corner. A change of scenery is a change of energy, and sometimes you just gotta get out of your recliner. I mention my recliner a lot because it's comfy and I love it, but I will melt into that if I don't, watch myself on that, because the older we get, the more we sit. And I don't want to sit and melt away. I want to stay active and keep moving. How fun is it to hop in the car and go to some small town nearby, and there's always small towns nearby, and go to some dive diner and just listen to the locals talk and have somebody, grab a friend, go for a day drive, stop at weird little shops. I mean, you don't have to fly to Boston and drive up the coast to see all the things we saw. We stopped at all these little towns along the way, and we went into shops and we ate at new restaurants, and we could have done all of that here because there's so many places here we haven't discovered yet. So don't think that just because your bank account is running on empty, that there isn't adventure out your door. Now, because I have chemo brain and I can't remember everything I wanted to hit on this, on how travel helps your mental health, I'm going to read some of these. It reduces stress and reignites your joy. We've talked about that lots of times. Staying active, getting outside, visiting with friends, seeing new things is going to give you joy, is going to give you happiness. Now, if you have social anxiety off the charts and that's not your thing, go on a trail, go, hiking, go by yourself, just something to get you out of the house and doing something different. Travel is going to encourage movement, laughter, and presence. And when I say presence, I mean living in the moment. A lot of times, if you're just sitting around home, you're thinking about the past or maybe worrying about the future. When you are in a new environment, you're soaking up right now. You're living for right now, what's happening right now with the people you're with the things you're doing, with the food you're eating, with the things you're seeing. It's all right now. That's why travel is so great for your mental health. And when I say travel again, just step out your door, go to a small town nearby, go to a farmer's market, whatever, just something different than what you do every other day. Now, when I first took off in the RV, I was scared. I've been single since 2009, but I hadn't really traveled completely by myself. I usually was with a friend or a family member. I mean, I go on car rides and stuff, but I hadn't actually left town. And one thing I can say is traveling or stepping outside your norm builds confidence. When I took off in this big old RV by myself, towing my Jeep and headed down the coast, I was scared shitless. I thought, what if I break down? What if blah, blah, blah? What if I'm in a campground and someone tries to, get me? Or I'm scared. 2 weeks in, I was living my dream. I was so glad that I had not let fear stop me from doing it. And the fear was just gone. And I was meeting wonderful people. I was seeing beautiful things. I was experiencing, things that I'd never experienced before. And yeah, I had breakdowns and I had things, but I just handled it. I'm no dummy. I just figured it out. But remember when I've said us Gen Xers, everything's figure outable. You can figure it out. And every little trip you take, even if it's just local, reminds us that we're not done living yet. You have so many years left in you and so many more adventures to take. Speaking of which, I work with a gal that is older than me. She's in her 60s. I'm not sure how much older, but I know she's in her mid-60s. She is still, as of the time of this filming, is in France, I want to say, for 2 months. 2 months. And they are staying in hostels, and they are hiking, and they are backpacking, and she is doing all this because, again, budget. They're having a ball. She's posting on Facebook, and God bless her. That is an adventure that she will never forget. My mom went to Ireland with my sister a couple of years ago. She was probably 81 or 82 when they went, because she'd always wanted to do it. She finally just did it, and she had a blast. And then her and her best friend took a cruise through the Panama Canal last year, a year ago now. It was October of last year, and that friend passed away a few months ago. So thank God they took the time to go do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. If you have the finances and there's a trip you've been wanting to take, just do it. You can't take the money with you. Your kids don't need it. Just do it. Take the trip you've always wanted to, because tomorrow is not promised. And if you can't afford the trip you've always wanted to do, then take the trips you can take and get out of the house and live your life. Don't sit around and melt in a puddle. It's not how far you go, it's how deeply you experience the world and the environment that you're in. And new things spark joy. So that's where I'm coming from. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.